What's up, guys? Welcome to the very first Q&A of Joey's Nightmares. First off, before I begin this Q&A, I just want to give a big thank you to everybody for reaching 10K, well, 11K now. But thank you all so much for all the congratulations and everything. I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to say in the comments thank you to you guys. It's just it was a Q&A announcement, and I was just waiting for things to just build a little bit. But anyways, guys, with all that being said, you are awesome, and let's get right into it. So let's get right into the questions here with our first set of questions here. What made you want to start a channel? What made you start narrating on YouTube? And why the topic of horror? Well, I'll have to go back to the time when I was doing movie reviews on YouTube in video format. And I was trying to be the next Chris Stuckman or John Flickster. And it was fun for a while, but over time it became more work than fun. I mean, to be honest, who really wants to go to the movies and see a really terrible movie and pay for it and then come back and review it? Of course it's going to be shit, especially when you're not as popular as the bigger guys. So, over time, I started not liking it. I was actually going to quit. And then my good buddy Carlton Rudder, who I think if he didn't give me this advice at the time, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. He suggested that I started narrating movie reviews instead of actually doing video reviews. And I kind of thought about it, and I did it, and I did like it for a while, but I still wasn't having fun with it. It was still becoming more work than fun. So finally one day, I came across a YouTube channel called Mr. Nightmare. And as I was watching his video and, watching how he does his stories and narrating, I'm like, I could probably do that. Now, I was still rolling over the idea. I was like, horror really isn't for me. I'm not really a person that gets scared easily. I think they're all kind of cliched. So, during the time, my mom convinced me to do it, Carlton Rudder convinced me to do it, so then finally I just caved and said, alright, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? So I uploaded my first video, which was 3 true scary stories, and my friend was actually in the same room with me as I was narrating the scary stories, and as I was narrating it, he was like, dude, you got a pretty good voice. And I thought he was just blowing smoke up my ass or something like that. So I uploaded the video and I went to sleep the following day. I woke up the next day and I had like 500 views, 80 likes. I was like, okay. So my little moral to the story to this whole thing, guys, never give up. Always find a way. Always. And I'm sorry if there's a bit of background noise in this video. It's just because of my AC and it's kind of hot in my room, so yeah. But on to our next batch of stories. What's your favorite video that you've narrated? Oof, man, that's a tough one. If I had to pick one video, it would probably be the 3 no sleep scary stories video, just because, it really required me to do a lot of effort, a lot of editing, and I loved the way all of those stories were written in the video, especially the last one. The last story, that had a lot of people talking in the comments, and, even though some were negative and some were positive, I loved it because it almost felt like a cliffhanger of a movie scene. You had your cliffhanger, and then you had your post-credit scene that had everybody talking, and as someone that really loves film, I really loved that. It really had a lot of people talking in the comments, and they were just like, wait, what was going on? What happened? So yeah, definitely the 3 no sleep scary stories video. Absolutely loved it. And as for hero to villain, his set of questions here. Let's see here. Would you rather be a dragon or a unicorn? Dragon, pal. Gotta go with dragon. Come on, fly all over the place, Game of Thrones style, light everybody up. That sounds very morbid, but sorry. Definitely a dragon. What other horror narrators do you look up to or inspire to be? I don't really look up to them, but I definitely appreciate their work and what they've done for the horror community on YouTube. People like Your Maker are awesome, Mr. Nightmare, B. Busta, Lazy Masquerade, and definitely Dr. Horror. And Corpse Husband, I can't forget about him. He's actually my favorite out of all of them. I don't really look up to them, but I definitely appreciate the work that they've done, so they're all awesome in my book. And what interest do you have outside of YouTube? It's not really a very entertaining one, really. I mean, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll take a shower, I'll narrate my stories, I'll go to the gym, then I'll come back home and play video games. It's really not that, not that much of an interesting life, I guess. If it's the weekend, however, it's kind of the same process, except I'll go to my friend's house and we'll buy some beer, play some Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, anything to really get us entertained, really, guys. You know, I guess you can call us the nerd crew of anything. But yeah, those are my interests outside of YouTube. And I've kind of mixed these questions two together here. First off, thank you, Ash, for the congratulations. Well deserved. Thank you very much. And your questions are, what's the most insane thing you've ever done? Whew, man. Ooh. If anybody knows the Camp Hero place in the Hamptons, I think that's where it is. Me and my friends, we all went to that place to go and explore because we are paranormal enthusiasts. We love the paranormal. So we went there to explore one time, and I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm a pretty heavy dude here, so trying to hop the gate in this story was pretty difficult. I ended up climbing over the gate and then falling right on my back, but we ended up looking at the whole area of Camp Hero, and then we see this car coming by, and I think it was definitely a security guard car, but I don't exactly know what it was. It was shining blue lights. I couldn't see the red, but it made me run into the bushes, and we were like hiding there for like hours waiting for this. I'm sorry, guys. We were hiding in there for like hours trying to wait for him to leave just so we could leave because the fucking place is, you know, you're not allowed to be in there. So we were sneaking around, and trying to get over the gate again. I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, by the end of this night, I'm going to break my damn back. So I end up climbing up on the gate. Then I hear a voice go, hey, and I immediately jump over the gate, slam on my ass. I definitely think I hurt my ass in some way because as I'm running up, I fell down on my ass again. I got up again, ran to the car, and we got out of there. So that's probably the most insane thing we've ever done. We didn't really find anything paranormal, if that's what anybody's wondering, but yeah. Any personal scary experiences? Well, I do have one experience that happened to me when I was about 19 years old. And to start off the story, I was in a really rocky relationship with my girlfriend at the time. I mean, we were arguing constantly, and I think this was a really big argument if I can remember, and I just stormed out of my house. My friend came with me, and I was walking to 7-Eleven to get a Mountain Dew to make myself feel better. I don't know why certain people have their fixes when they're stressed out. Mine is Mountain Dew. But I got my Mountain Dew, and as I was walking back, I was still with my friend, by the way, so he's still there talking to me. A hand came over my face, and all I could hear is, run your pockets. So now, I'm struggling to, like, break free, and I feel something pointy hitting me in the back. As I break free and turn around, there's literally a gun pointed right at my face. And honestly, that moment, I froze. I mean, some people think that, you know, whenever you get jumped like that, they think that you're going to pull some kind of martial arts move or banshee move and beat the guy half to death. Now, I froze up completely. I mean, there's a gun pointed in my face. So I'm sitting there frozen in fear. And I have my one friend, Eric, next to me who is constantly yelling at the guy pointing a gun at him. And I'm trying to tell Eric, you know, my friend Eric to shut the fuck up because, you know, shit, man, you know. So, you know, with the grace of God or with a stroke of luck, the guy goes to pull the trigger and the safety is on. So as soon as he did that, I swung my Mountain Dew bottle at his face, and some guy, like I said, there had to be at least like 8 of them that were trying to jump us. I turned around and I see like a giant, you know, fist or whatever come swinging right across my face. And I mean, I've been punched before, but that punch felt really, really like... I honestly felt like I got hit by like Superman or something. So I got hit, I fell to the ground, then the guy's on top of me hitting me and shit, and then the gun got pointed at my head again, this time I guess with the safety off. So I gave him my wallet, I gave him everything, and you know, I'm pretty much struggling to get up. At this point I'm wondering if Eric's okay. He's alright too, so I end up walking back to my house, calling the cops on the way there with my cell phone. And, you know, I took a statement, and nothing really came of it, really. But that was definitely one of the scariest experiences of my life. To this day, I do not like walking. I absolutely hate walking. Every time I see a big group of people, I kind of get very paranoid a little bit. It's definitely still an issue that I need to get worked out. But yeah, that's definitely probably the scariest experience that's ever happened to me. It's still, you know, I still get a little PTSD from it to this day. If I'm ever walking in a mall by myself, and I see a huge group of people, I get a little nervous. So that's my that's my scary experience to you guys. And now for our next question on a little bit more of a lighter tone here. First, congrats. Thank you very much. What's your favorite topic for scary stories? You like camping and middle of nowhere stories. I really like doing paranormal stories just because I'm a huge paranormal fanatic myself. So I really like doing those types of stories. They're more, I feel like I can be more animated. So yeah, there's there goes your answer. And Brad Smith, what's your favorite sports team? New York Giants, baby. Sorry if that kind of disappoints you a little bit. And for some reason, a lot of people want to know how old I am and when my birthday is. I am 25 years old, and my birthday is on November 23rd. And if you want to know the year I was born, that would be 1990. And will I do a face reveal? Maybe someday. Maybe. Depends. Alright, on to the next stuff. And the next question is, I love your stuff. Thank you very much. And I am happy you did one of mine in the past. Well, thank you for submitting your story. I do want to know, starting out, did you ever get to the point where you felt like it was hard to keep going? Yes. There was one point when I was doing movie reviews, and on that particular day, I got fired from my job. And it was like one of those jobs that I thought that was going to be a career job. And I was really, really depressed about it. And seeing Furious 7 and then coming home and doing the review, my mind just really wasn't, focused. So in the middle of the review, I kind of just got up and I walked outside and sat on the front porch, and I was kind of just like, I really don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I mean, this is at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'm literally just staring at the sky, and I'm just, pondering, everything. And I mean, when you're a YouTuber, guys, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, especially the horror narrators, a lot of people always like to put you down because they think it's not an actual job, or that they think it's just, kid stuff. You know what I mean? So, as I'm sitting there, I'm just remembering everybody telling me, this is stupid, you're not going to go anywhere with this, But, you know what, guys, out of all the things, during that night, I wised up. I said, you know what, a lot of people like Steve Jobs, a lot of famous people have been where you are at now. I'm not saying that I'm famous, but I'm saying people that had to go through harsh times are where you're at now. So you just got to pick yourself back up, and I did. Picked myself back up, went back to my room, did the review, uploaded it really fast, edited it, and there you go. So yeah, that answers your question. That was the point where I was just like, man, fuck this. And this goes to my neighbor here that lives down the block from me. What's your favorite announcement at E3? Oh, man. Oh, geez, there's so many. The Skyrim remaster is definitely one of them. Days Gone, the Spider-Man game, Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima's new game. Just so many games that I was just excited for. Mafia 3, Mass Effect Andromeda, even though that really wasn't showed, but they hinted at it. Just a ton of games that I was just really, really excited for. So I hope that answers your question. If I had to pick one, though, it would definitely be the Death Stranding game by Hideo Kojima. Really looking forward to see what that game is going to look like. And Days Gone. Just added 2 in there. And another question here. What is the weirdest prank call you've ever made? Oh, man. I've made some pretty strange ones, but the one that comes to mind is, we were 13 years old, and we were doing a prank call. So I called this random number, and I just said, I had no idea what the hell to say, so I was like, hey, sir, I'm just trying to see how long people actually last on prank calls. And in the most Brooklyn accent ever, he was just like, well, how's this for a prank call? Your mother's cunt, and hangs up the phone. And I was like, all right then. I was like, that's pretty strange. I'm sorry if I said the see you next Tuesday word, but it was one of those moments where all of us kind of just looked at each other and we just started laughing. It was like a 5-second thing. But anyways, on to the next question. Do you believe in the dog man? And if not, which creature do you believe exists? Any cryptids like that always interest me, especially the dog man. I definitely believe in the dog man just because there are so many sightings of it. And if I had to believe one creature exists, I'd say Bigfoot. Definitely Bigfoot. Jersey Devil is, I don't know, that kind of seems a little fake to me. With those kind of creatures, I gotta see it to believe it, but with Bigfoot, there's over almost 10,000 sightings, more maybe? And they're always popping up everywhere, too. So I would say definitely Bigfoot, I believe, and the Dog Man. I mean, could you imagine, like, walking through the woods and seeing, like, this fucking giant-ass wolf just, like, stand on two legs and look at you? That is some scary shit right there. But yes, I do believe in the Dog Man. I do believe in cryptids and whatnot. I do think that there are creatures among us that scientists haven't figured out yet. Just the Jersey Devil I'm kind of edgy about, just because it seems really made up and just a folklore legend. But yeah, if I had to pick one, definitely Bigfoot. Alright, on to the next question. Here's a question. What's your favorite video game? Oh man, is this tough. This is really, really tough. If I had to pick one, well, actually, I'm about to pick three. First one, for the original PlayStation, is Metal Gear Solid. That game is amazing. I think that game is a complete game changer and everything. Absolutely love that game. As a matter of fact, I love all of the Metal Gear Solid games, all of them, even the one leading up to 5. Absolutely love all of them. However, though, the second one I'm about to pick is probably everyone's favorite on the PlayStation 2, is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. My opinion, complete game changer on the PS2, just like Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation 1 was a complete game changer. Both of those games are just really awesome, and I absolutely love the story behind them, and just, yeah, they're awesome. The third game I'm about to mention, though, that really had a big impact on me was Beyond Two Souls. That game, if I had to say, was just one game that was just very unique, and I absolutely loved it. So those three games right now are definitely my favorite games ever. And on the next question, Trump or Kanye? Neither. Slipknot. I choose neither. And another question here, what's your favorite restaurant in my town and my favorite movie? Oof, ouch. It's a little hard to pick there. Favorite restaurant? There's a place in my town called Mama's, and it's a pizzeria, and it's really fucking amazing. It has the best, like, ravioli, so probably that place. And my favorite movie? Oof, man. I don't really have a favorite movie, but if I would have to pick one right now that I watch constantly over and over again, it would have to be Batman Begins. God, this is so hard. Alright. It's a pick between Batman Begins, The Crow, and Captain America Civil War. Those are my three favorite movies right now. And what is your biggest fear? Oof, man. My biggest fear. I had a fear of the dark for a really long time, but god damn, what would a biggest fear be? I know I got a few of them. You know what? Here's one. If I opened my room right now and my whole room was surrounded in bugs, or if I woke up and bugs were all over me, yeah, I hate that. I hate bugs. I hate it when bugs are on me. And if I woke up and there were like 1,000 bugs on me, I'd probably spaz out and die. I'm not even kidding. And our next question starts off with, you are awesome. Thank you very much. And what's your favorite horror movie and why? If I had to pick my favorite horror movie, it would definitely be The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2, and I'll explain why. For one, I'm a big paranormal enthusiast. I have followed Ed and Lorraine Warren since Paranormal State and since anything else they've done. So really, seeing a movie with them, it was like Christmas for me. However, though, was it going to be directed good? And it was. Really, The Conjuring to me is the first movie that really captures that anxiety of having a ghost in your house. Now granted, I'm going to knock on wood here, I have never been in a haunted house before. I've had a few houses that I've been into where I've had a really eerie feeling of being watched. And whenever I watch The Conjuring, I always get that feeling of being watched. I always get anxiety watching that movie. Because I think if a house is haunted, you should have a sense of anxiety that somebody is watching you all the time. And that's exactly what I feel every time I watch The Conjuring. It feels like a real ghost movie. Certain ghost movies nowadays are all about jump scares and handheld cameras running around, shaking the camera some more just because something weird is happening. So yeah, if I would say The Conjuring 1 and 2 are my favorite horror movies, just because they really do capture what it's like being in a haunted house and the anxiety that comes with being in a haunted house. And to the next question, what's the weirdest story that was ever submitted to you? And by weird, you mean, what the heck is this? Actually, my one friend, he wanted to write a fictional scary story for me to put on YouTube. So I was like, all right, whatever, write the story down, give it to me the next week, and, we'll talk about it. And the story was going to be about time travel. It was going to be a scary story about the consequences of time travel. So anyways, my friend gives me this story, he emails it to me, and as I'm reading it, I'm just like, this story is awful. And not even like it, like the story itself wasn't bad, excuse me. It's just that the grammar was awful. I really couldn't understand what the hell he was saying. And even me trying to fix up some of the edits, I was just like, I emailed, I mean, we're close friends. We've been friends for almost like 15 years. So when I sent it back to him, I'm just like, hey dude, can you like maybe fix this up a little bit? It's kind of bad. So if he's watching this video now, I didn't mean to put you on blast, pal, but we did laugh about this before I did the Q&A, so technically I'm allowed. I'm not bashing the story either. The story itself was really good. It's just the grammar and some of the words really didn't make sense. So yeah, I guess that answers your question where I was just like, what in the hell am I reading? And for our last question here, congrats Joey. Thank you very much. Do you like Stephen King books/movies? Yes, I do like his movies. I love the movie 1408. I love Thin. I love The Shining, definitely. That's probably everybody's popular choice. And The Shawshank Redemption. Great movie in every regards. However, his books, though, I have not read. I'm not really that much of a book reader, even though I do narrate stories. But I do want to start reading more books, though, just because it's more of a calming pastime for me. I just never get a chance to do it. Right after I'm done narrating, I want to plop myself down on the couch and probably sleep and play some video games. But if you have any books that you want to suggest to me, please email me them and I'll find them and buy them and I'll read them on my spare time. But anyways, guys, this ends the Q&A here. Thank you all for submitting all of your questions, and thank you all for finally reaching 11K, or 10K as I'd say now. So thank you all for watching, guys. Hopefully we'll do another Q&A sometime. I love you all to death, and just remember, the best ideas always come out of nightmares.